Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, good morning. Consideration of agenda items. Is there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
Hearing none, I move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Kruger,
Second.
second by Commissioner Polmeyer. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Wright, second by Commissioner Kruger. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Payment of the bills.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Polmeyer,
I'll second that.
second by Commissioner Kruger for payment of the bills in the amount of $148,313.97. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, Government Center update. Good morning, Larry.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Larry Filippi, Contiguity Group, along with Travis Fickman, Contiguity Group, here to present the bid tabulation from the bid opening last.
Speak into the microphones.
Sorry.
They're
With the bid opening from last week, as well as the budget, starting budget that we're presenting. We had a very good bid opening. We solicited over or close to 800 contractors. Approximately a little over 100 phone calls made during the solicitation. We did receive 100 bids in 28 categories. This past week, we've been going through qualifying each one of those contractors, making sure that they have dotted all the I's, crossed all the T's in the bid they did submit. And what you see in the budget is a culmination of that. A couple of points on the budget itself is you can see there's a couple of joint contractors or contractors that are being awarded or being asked to award multiple packages. In the instance of category 2 and 5, concrete carpentry, that's actually two separate individual low bids, but we'll issue one contract. The same holds true with category 9 and 15. Skylights, canopy, folding partitions, WL Hall was low bid in each of those respective categories. And then on category 11 and 13, tile and flooring, they actually did submit a combined bid and dropped their price, which actually beat out their own individual low bids in each category, so saved about 25 grand. The rest of them are low bidders except for category 16. We're showing the second bid, the Minnesota elevator. The low bid just had some further requirements listed that they didn't comply with the specifications and the bidding requirements on their bid. But everybody else is the low bid as submitted. So we have the combination of the contractor costs, we have the soft costs and fees, owner items. There are 3 items that are yet to be secured under the owner items. That would be the cameras. It says camera/recording is what we had in the estimate. I don't think the recording side of it's going to be needed. I think it's mainly just the camera side of it. A cell repeater and the white noise. Those will have yet to be secured. The property acquisition is a carry through from the construction design estimate that you approved earlier. And then we're presenting a project budget of $12,139,667, which is substantially lower than the construction document estimate that was presented to the board back in July. I do list a couple of items down there. Re-roofing option. That came up, I know that early on, re-roofing the existing building was pulled from the project to look at doing it in the next few years via deferred maintenance. We are replacing the metal cap around the entire building. There are also some patching that needs to be done up on that roof. So we did reach out to get an idea on what that would cost. Gag Sheet Metal, who is doing the roofing portion, or will be doing the roofing portion, was out and did some test cuts to see what we had up there for insulation. They literally just emailed me a price on the way here. That's why we don't see it. But without going into depth on what their proposal was, the ballasted system would be about $100,000. And to re-roof with a fully adhered system would be about $250,000. Both those would be a 20-year system. I think we want to do is, since it's all new, just take a look at that proposal and also do an evaluation of the existing roof to see, are we really is it 2 years down the road that we're looking at re-roofing it, or does the roof actually have some more life? Being that it was being discussed early on in the project, my guess is, I know the age of the roof is probably 20 years. So you're getting to the tail end of any warranty that would be in place. But since we are removing the cap, redoing some of the roof blocking, patching in some of those openings, it may make some sense to look at that re-roofing of the ballasted system sooner than later. But I think we need to do is get our ducks in a row and bring that back to the board for another discussion. But nonetheless, that's an option now that you can see where we're at budget-wise. So with that, I'm here to answer any questions. I would be looking for approval to issue contracts as presented here and approve of the project budgets moving forward.
And Mr. Chair, I did have a chance to look at the elevator bid. That was the low bid in item 16, and I agree that it is a non-responsive bid to what our specs were. So it makes the best sense to go with the second low bid, which is before you know.
All right. All right, any questions?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
The only thing I have is just to expand a little bit on the roof. I remember our conversation early on, and I have, just to clear the air a little bit on anybody that's watching, or as far as the public is concerned, Contegrity brings it to us for consideration. There's nothing to be made or lost by Contegrity. I mean, you're bringing us information, and we have to make that decision. I just want that clear. With that, I would approve the rest of the bids here.
Okay, so just so we're clear, we're accepting the bids, and then you're looking for permissions to enter into contracts, correct?
Yes.
Okay, is that okay, Doug?
That would be my motion, yes.
All right. Motion by Commissioner Kruger, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wright. Any discussion?
And just so it's clear, what you're talking about is what's listed on the left side as items 1 through 28.
Correct. Thank you, but it's, 1 through 28. The comment on the roof was just, that's just to be consideration. Has nothing to do with my motion. I just wanted to clear the air that it's a separate item for consideration. Thanks.
Just one question. You have any comments on the timeline as far as what happens from here? When will people be able to start to see some activity around the building as far as change happening?
Our milestone schedule had construction starting that first week in October. So I think we'll be on track with that. Could even be possibly the week before. The plan now would be to go back, get contracts issued to the contractors, get their signature on them, bring them back, make sure we get all the insurances, the safety information in place. I think tomorrow we'll probably get a job site office set up, get the temp utilities and that hooked up, and get a working office down here, probably starting tomorrow. So some of the demo work could start potentially a little early, but I think the milestone schedule we had in the spec of October, that first week in October, is probably holds pretty true.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Anything else, gentlemen?
Nothing from here. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Information technology.
Good morning.
Morning, Matt.
I'm here this morning to request authorization to proceed with advertising for bids for the extension of the county's fiber optic network to the new government center. Our consultant, True North Consulting Group, has completed the design work on the fiber optic network extension to the new government center and has estimated the project will cost about $65,000. We would like to continue to move forward with the bid letting, The bid notice will be published in the official newspaper for 3 weeks, with the first publication on Wednesday, September 11th, 2019. Bids will be due on October 1st, and bids will be brought back to the board for consideration on Tuesday, October 8th. Funding for the project will be coming from the capital equipment notes.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the request for contracting.
Motion by Commissioner Szymanski. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Polmeyer. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks.
All right. Health and Human Services. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi, I'm here for the board to consider approval of a fiscal agreement between McLeod County and the Minnesota Association of County Health Plans, and that includes payment of $4,166.66 to the association with funds from the public health budget. Last month, the board passed a resolution authorizing retaining the law firm Lockridge, Grindle, and Noun to represent McLeod County in mediation with the Minnesota Department of Human Services regarding the procurement process for our health plans. McLeod County is now joining with 23 other counties in this effort for mediation. In its engagement letter, LGN, the law firm, limited its total billing to not exceed the total of $100,000. That would mean that each county participating would be responsible for not more than $4,166.66 of the law firm's fee. The Minnesota Association of County Health Plans has agreed to serve as the fiscal agent to simplify the administrative accounting burden of making sure that all payments get to the law firm. In order to do this, each county would pay upfront its share to the association, and then the association would handle the monthly billings with the law firm. This is needed because the association does not have adequate financial reserves to be able to pay that monthly bill. If the total is less than the $100,000, then the association would refund to the counties any amount equally across the shares. And at the end of the agreement, there will be a total statement of expenses so that the counties are able to handle that for their bookkeeping purposes. And also, I want to note that the county attorney did have a chance to review and approve this agreement.
All right. Any questions?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the request for funding from the public health budget.
All right. Motion by Commissioner Szymanski. Is there a second?
Second that.
Second by Commissioner Wright. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Public Works. Good morning, John.
One item for you today, we'd like to consider approval to hire Bolton and Mink out of Chaska to complete the preliminary engineering design on the extension of our County State Highway, that should be County State Highway 5. It's between County Road 1 and County Road 9 in Winstead. The cost for that preliminary design is $78,400, and the city of Winstead has passed a resolution to cover half of that cost. So the maximum fee to McLeod, or our portion, would be not to exceed $39,200. If you recall, County Road 5 that's a new alignment between County Road 1 and 9 that we were kind of trying to get plans done and on the shelf, and hopeful for future local road improvement funds or other types of grant fund opportunities that might come forward.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, I move the approval of the contracting with Bolton Mink for the County Road 5 extension project.
Motion by Commissioner Szymanski. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Polmeyer. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, we're moving right along here. Sheriff's Office isn't here. Mike, are you ready to go?
Sure. The first item for your consideration is the agreement with the City of Silver Lake. It's in your packet. I believe it reflects what our negotiations with them had been. If you approve this here today, then what I will do is I will draw up a deed. I'll make sure that I reserve a roadway easement for our county road. That's, I believe, on the north side of the highway shop up in Silver Lake. And then this will complete our disposal or transfer of the shop to the City of Silver Lake.
All right, very good.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the agreement with the City of Silver Lake.
Motion by Commissioner Szymanski. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kruger. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And if Liz could get that signed by the clerk and by the board chair, and then give a copy to the City of Silver Lake. Thank you.
We'll move back up. The Sheriff's Office is now here. If you guys are ready, you're on.
Morning.
Good morning.
Here to seek formal approval to adopt our 2019 edition of the McLeod County Emergency Operations Plan. This is one of the 4 years that we have to come to the county board, so we need a resolution, which you have in your packets, and the plan review sheet that we need signed.
And just so everyone's aware, specifically the public, we reviewed it at our last workshop in detail. It's not like we just came here and rubber stamped a resolution. So,
Yeah.
with that, I'll move to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Szymanski. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
Item B. Good morning, Tim.
Morning. We're asking to enter into agreement for 2020 with the City of Stewart for law enforcement services. 40 hours a week, 40 hours a week at $56.85 per hour for a total cost of $118,255.91.
Is this rate, did it go up?
It went up 3%. And we're doing a one-year contract because of union negotiations and not knowing where that'll end. So we'll come back next year for hopefully a 2-year contract at that
All right,
time.
sounds good. Any questions?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Wright. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Polmeyer. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mike, sorry for bouncing around.
There was a motion made by Commissioner Kruger, seconded to enter into a contract, or seconded by Commissioner Nagel to enter into a contract with Interim County Administrator Sheila Murphy to appoint her to the County Administrator position. That is back on the table.
All right, any discussion on the motion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I was one of them that asked for the delay in this, and at this point, I am fully enthused to endorse Ms. Murphy as our new county administrator.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Sheila.
Congratulations.
Mr. Chair, I will meet with Ms. Murphy and we'll draw up a contract and we will bring that to you either your next meeting, probably your next meeting, and I'll take care of notifying the unsuccessful candidates that the position is filled and thanking them for their interest.
All right, thank you for your work, Mike.
Thank you.
Well, geez, no better timing, county administration. But we'll do the calendars first. Rich?
Okay. Since our last meeting, we had our workshop, covered a number of things there. On the following day, had our planning commission meeting. The following day, then Thursday night, I had a UCAP board meeting. Some interesting information that came out of that is UCAP, the organization is in McLeod County, has provided
$1,436,829 of use to McLeod County. Kind of splits up into some of the wages for staff of $616,000 plus. Serving 2,617 individuals, over 1,000 households, and just a nice review of what UCAP is actually doing in McLeod County. A lot of it with housing and early childhood planning, and also through the Head Start programs in the schools in McLeod County. Last Thursday then, got back and had the county picnic. Was well received. There was about 170 plus employees from the county that came through the picnic. We had pork chop and sweet corn and various other items for food, and I think it was very well received by the employees, and it's a good thank you to all of our employees in McLeod County for all the hard work you do, and we really appreciate your work. So thank you. That brings me up to today.
Okay. Well, the bulk of my last couple weeks has been spent with working with the 4-H program, but we did have time to squeeze in a budget meeting, talking with the highway department on road project. We'll continue that discussion today. And Collins Township with road and some ditch issues. However, I'm going to spend a few minutes on what I usually do about this time of the year and talk about our accomplishments of the 4-H program at the State Fair. Just a quick broad overview of the 4-H program is something that started in 1902, is tucked within the USDA. From there it goes down to each state extension, and from there county boards. This past year we brought 38 general projects and 59 livestock projects to the Minnesota State Fair, and as always, McLeod County kids did very, very well. The general projects are anywhere from veterinary science to crafts to citizenship, home environment, small engines, and shop, just to name a few. The livestock projects are anywhere from the dairy, beef, goats, sheep, swine, pretty well cover all possible areas there. When it was all said and done, these are our results. Now, the ribbon placings at the State Fair, typical class placing, blue is highest, red is right under that, and then there is a participation ribbon. If you are exemplary in your project area, you receive a purple ribbon. And from there are champions and reserve champions that are awarded. McLeod County walked out of the Minnesota State Fair this year with 25 purple ribbons. 3 of them in the general project area, 22 of them in the livestock area. 50 blue ribbons, 14 red, 3 participation. We had 2 livestock champions, one in market goat, one in the Holstein cattle. We also had, besides having the overall grand champion Holstein, we also had the overall reserve grand champion awarded to a McLeod County youth. There were 6 total reserve champions awarded. We had the 3rd place dairy cattle evaluation team that will be going to national competition in 2 weeks in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. When you bring a livestock project to the Minnesota State Fair, it's not just about showing your animal, it's the things that you do to keep your stalling area clean, and also you are asked to participate in a rather extensive interview process to determine how well you support the project area and your knowledge of it. And so every one of the kids has to do this. Throughout the state competition with those interviews, we had 6 of our kids were chosen as finalists, and we had 2 of them selected as state winners. Our beef children had a 3rd place in the herdsmanship. That's their ability to keep their stalling area clean and great for the consumers and visitors to the state fair to see. 2nd place went with our dairy. We had 1 purple ribbon in the auction participant. We had 1 state fair scholarship winner. Each year there is a National 4-H Dairy Conference where kids are selected from across the nation to go to Wisconsin later on this month and participate in both leadership programming and knowledge of the dairy industry. Out of the 20 kids that leave from Minnesota, McLeod County was selected to have 2. We have a great program here because of our kids, our families, our fantastic sponsors, businesses, and alumni. And so just wanted to throw that in there as how great of a job our 4-H program does. This next weekend, we'll be sending a great batch of kids to the Minnesota State Shoot in Alexandria, where there's approximately 800 kids that'll participate in anywhere from trap shooting to archery to air rifle, as well as wildlife skills. And so if you see these kids out there, they're hard workers, they're great kids. Tell them congratulations. Thank you.
All right, good job. After our last meeting, we had a board workshop and our social services meeting. And other than a fair number of phone calls regarding the road issue, or the different road issues, but the one specifically on the north side of Hutchinson, it was a pretty light couple weeks for me. So, Ron?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since our last board meeting, the McLeod Treatment Program Board met on Wednesday, August 21st, and we did our director's evaluation at that meeting, and we gave high marks to our administrator over there. The director is very well qualified, and I believe has been serving McLeod Treatment Program for well over 25 years. Other than that, I would like to thank the county board and county staff for their condolences on the passing of my dad. We had his funeral on the 23rd, and it was very emotional, but he's in a better place. And I would like to mention the issue of Prime West and the Department of Human Services mediation. We are actively pursuing a campaign to advise the governor on our position on this mediation, to have the governor weigh in on this. Also, tomorrow morning, the State Senate Health and Human Services Committee is having a hearing on this topic, and I plan on attending that Senate hearing in St. Paul tomorrow morning. And that's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Doug?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Since our last meeting, I attended the workshop, obviously, after the board meeting. We had also had a social services board meeting. On the 21st, I had some work and some meetings on JD8, a ditch in my district that we're getting ready to start construction on. And I have been working with several landowners on tying up some loose ends on trees and some property right issues. It's actually going pretty well. I also had an HRA meeting that afternoon, and on the 26th, with Commissioner Wright, we had our budget meeting, and we attended the Bakers Lake meeting. Houston Engineering did some work there, and they showed us some alternatives or some things that can be done with the lake and some problems. And the rest of my week, I actually spent some family time up north trying to help my wife get a bear. That sounds good, but at any rate, a couple things I would though like to comment on. Commissioner Pohlmeyer commented on UCAP. It's an underutilized program in McLeod County, and I used to sit on the board there, and there's a lot of things there that some people may think redundant with social services, but I think that if utilized, could help our social service budget. There's some things there that I just never feel that, being we're way out here on the western edge, I don't know if a lot of people don't realize what they have to offer. It's not always my cup of tea, but it's there and it should be used. Another thing I'd like to comment on Commissioner Wright's comments on the 4-H'ers. While I know the whole board supports our 4-H and our youth, I just like to hats off to Commissioner Wright. He goes over and above. I know he has family in the 4-H program, but he goes over and above working with the kids and helping McLeod County really present themselves well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sheila, anything to add?
I just want to say thank you to all of the commissioners and to Mike and the other staff who took their time during the long recruitment process to take time away from their regular work and meet with me. And I look forward to meeting with all of you and figuring out our plans for the future. So thank you.
Perfect. Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Sheila.
Thank you.
All right, item A.
Item A, asking for you to consider approval of the Personnel Committee recommendation to extend the employment term of a seasonal Public Works employee to no later than November 13, 2019. This request is due to the extended construction season. Based on the union contract and para rules and exceptions, the county would like to employ this individual for 185 days without benefits or para activated.
All right. Any questions on that?
I'd move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Polmeyer, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Szymanski. Any discussion?
That's in the Highway Department, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Thank you.
All right, hearing no discussion, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item B, and I'm guessing it's the 17th, not the 3rd?
Correct.
Okay.
Item B, notification of the McLeod County Workshop to be held on September 17th, 2019, following the county board meeting at the Glencoe City Center.
All right. To the point of our board meeting, open forum or press relations. Anything, Jacob? All right. Looking for a motion to recess till our next board meeting, September 17th at 9 a.m. at the Glencoe City Center.
Move to recess, Mr. Chair.
Motion by Commissioner Szymanski. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Polmeyer. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.